Welcome back. It is Friday. Vida Baseball. Vida Baseball is here with Guillén. That's Adela screaming in the background. Welcome to my house.
Hey,
Adela sees the lights of the camera and she just action. So it's been I feel like every week we have something happens. Breaking news. 2020 is it keeps getting more interesting, more sad. Everything that's going on in the world right now, just every week something new happens.
Well, speaking about Adela, let's take it real quick to our section of the show where doing it for the gram, where you get to see a little bit of her life. Show us that video of doing it for the gram.
Yeah, you're a willow.
The pelota. Papa, mommy. The pelota.
So in this video of doing it for the gram, Adela,
I was the one that was filming this, and she found the book of pictures of the day that my dad got to throw out the first pitch last year. I believe it was Sox Cubs. She flips the page. She says, "Mommy and Daddy." Then a picture of my dad comes out, and she's like, "Abuela." So Adela knows her family members very well, and she's obsessed with every time she sees a baseball. She says, "Pelota." So
baseball.
I don't know if baseball's in her future or softball, but we are a baseball family. So I know that Adela, other than painting on her face, she loves playing with balls.
She loves sport and she loves animals. I think when she go home, we're going to paint Ozzy on his room, and they got balls of different sport, and she likes it so much.
Yeah,
we're going to keep that room.
Yeah, she's not in typical Guillén fashion, she's not much into dolls.
No, she's not. So the part where that ties up to our family and like the connection to baseball is this week. There was a passing of a legend, and we're honoring another legend. We'll talk first about the Tom Seaver part, but Tom Seaver passes away. He was battling dementia, unfortunately. One of the greats in the game, but everyone, including your tweet, said a great pitcher, a legend, but even a better person.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go first, and I know my dad's got a lot of stuff to talk about with him. Obviously, I was young. I didn't see Tom pitch other than videos in the latter part of his career when he came to the White Sox. It seems like a lot of people have great things to say about him. Obviously, he's a great pitcher, but they focus more on the guy that he was off the field, meaning that he went out of his way to talk to the rookie Ozzy Guillén or the people that he impacted. It just goes to show you that baseball is a community and it's a family, and it's just so sad that, for me, the saddest part was that he couldn't remember how great he was.
That's my biggest fear. I have two fears: memory loss, which is considered dementia, or going blind.
So those two things are just beyond horrific. And imagine being someone as great as Tom Seaver, because if you look at his resume, he's top 10 pitchers of all time. But obviously
greatest man of all time. For sure.
Exactly. So imagine being able to go to a stadium and not know how great you are. I think it's tragic. But like you said, I loved your tweet about, now heaven has an ace. I know he impacted you in a much different way.
Well, the thing when they asked me about it in the show, they asked me when Ozzy tweet, what he tweet, thank you to make my dad be who he is. It means a lot. It means a lot more than what he did for me, because anything he did for me, I'm the only one know about it. And some people, when people pass away, people are, no. Don't see you teach me a lot of things. Teach me why I hate back flipping, why I hate hot dogs. I was a hot dog. I was on my own way.
A big hot dog.
No, you weren't a hot dog. You were just.
But I was a hot dog.
Word of the day, you were exuberant.
Yeah.
Meaning you were exuberant. So you were very animated. You loved to play the game, but you weren't showing up your opponent.
But that's why when I say I make a comment about somebody do something he should be, baseball rules without being in the rules book. That's up to thank you to Tom Seaver. Tom Seaver did a lot of things to me. Tom Seaver grabbed me by my choke me in Yankee Stadium because I was unrespect the game.
What did you do?
I hit a line drive to right field, and Dave Winfield making diving play. Back then, the ball you throw to the mound. But now you throw to the stands or whatever. And I grabbed the ball. Greg Walker gave me the glove. I grabbed the ball. I just boom, hitting on the ground like.
You were mad because they took a hit away from you.
Yeah, and innings over. I'm going back to the locker room, to the dugout, and Tom Seaver was waiting for me there. I even know he was waiting for me, and he grabbed me. You know, Johnny telling you go down dugout, and it's 3 stairs. He grabbed me by my neck, take me all the way to the training room. Nobody knows.
That's like
a mile and a half.
Tom Seaver's probably like a good 240.
That's
like 160.
That's 100 yards.
I know it's fine. All the way to the training room, sit me down the table, and he just aired me out. You're not better in the game. You think you're going to hit line drive, but when you make catch like that, you have to respect
and you take people's hits away.
And look, I got goosebumps. Like, you take people away from you. That next time, as long as here, you never do that thing, and you better learn from this. And Hermie Schneider was sitting there, and you don't know what happened. Like, what? He left. Hermie, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
You understood like 60% of it?
Maybe 30% what he said. But Hermie go, what happened? I go, I don't know. I was afraid to ask him what happened. Then Hermie asked me what happened to me. Hermie explained to me. And I go, oh man, Hermie, well. But unfortunately, I had to sit next to him on the airplane. He told me, he said, you see here?
Yeah, he didn't. Here. So he didn't allow, you know, now it's like an unwritten rule in baseball. The more years you have in the league, the more you go in the back of the plane. They try to keep young guys in line. I think this is one of those things. Exactly. I think this is one of those things that gets lost in translation, that it doesn't happen anymore where veteran guys try to protect the young guys. I know one of the things that comes to my mind, you know, Gordon Beckham, and you want to earn your keep in the big leagues.
So that's my favorite Tom Seaver story. So the part there about Adela is, you know, when you talk about baseball and like you're giving this God-given talent that Ozzy's had and was developed to become a major leaguer. And when people talk about prospects, there's a lot of guys that make it. But I've seen a lot of more guys burn out than stay and play and make a career out of this game. A lot more guys. With better tools than anybody. Better tools. So
Raul, Mondesi,
we can go down the
line,
line, especially in the 1980s, because baseball doesn't like talk about it, but a huge drug use, a lot of crazy drinking. It was wild times. So for us, meaning where we come from, okay, where he comes from, it would have been very easy for Ozzy to get caught up in that lifestyle of partying and going crazy because you don't know any better. You're in the big leagues. You just follow what the guys do around you now. And you have money now. So the funny story is that when he got on the team plane as a rookie, Tom Seaver said, sit next to me. And you thought it was like the coolest thing ever.
I think like, okay, now nobody can play with me.
You're sitting next to Tom Seaver.
And you sit next to me. Because
what he really wanted to do was party with Julio Cruz in the back of the plane.
We create a good feeling in spring training. Every time it's spring training, just me and him. And he teach me a lot, man, a lot.
Was my good friend Jerry Harrison Sr., was he in the back of the plane?
No, he wasn't in the back of the plane. But he didn't sit there. But like I sit down, Seaver sit behind the coaches and the manager, right behind, you know, he pick his own thing.
Yeah. Of course.
Carlton Fish picks his own the hero band. Then in the back is a, you know,
Julio Cruz.
Luis. No, bunch of guys.
Yeah, I did catch a Luis Salazar.
But people are just having fun.
Then all of a sudden I sit there and like, okay, you got 5 Heineken, always. 5 Heineken, he might bring half, but he's always have 5 Heineken in the middle of the seat. Stand down. Then I want to go out. I want to get up and go there to the bathroom.
Hey, let me check it out.
Make an excuse. I go to the bathroom and say, where you going? Go to the bathroom. We got one in front.
It was like being in detention on an airplane.
I go to the front. Then you're not supposed to, you're a rookie, you're not supposed to go front because front is the manager, the coaches. I go in the front and go, one of the coaches, Jim Leland, told me, hey, Ozzy Bull, what are you doing here? I said, well, I got to pee, but I can't pee in the back and pee in the front. Oh, I know who sent you here. I go pee in the back. I'll sit down, and I know all those guys party, play, and they play a lot of country music then. A lot, no reggaeton, no hip hop, nah. A lot of country music then. They have a party, and I just turn. And as soon as I turn to see the party, we go, you know anything back there? I said, no, you're not going to learn anything back there. You see with me for every flight, you got to sit with me here. I said, okay. Then every flight, I was bored. I was sitting there like.
Well, let's think. I guess our family has many reasons. By the way, to give thanks to Tom because he made my dad into a good professional.
Professional, they got to build a career. And then when you think about guys like that, guys that I love in the game, like.
I got lucky, bro.
You got lucky. Tony,
Harold, Jim Leland, Eddie Hermie, rest in peace, Hermie, Podge, You know, I grew up with a good group.
yeah,
I'm saying that I think
My
if you
que-
land on the Mets, okay, and that's what people don't understand. I think if you land on another team
You have been doing lines
with another manager,
with Doc.
with another group of leaders, because you were a very young player in a very group of a lot of veterans. I think
Greg Walker.
I think your story is completely different.
Or ends after 5 years.
I think it ends 2-3 years because they let him do whatever he wants. He wouldn't have developed. And I think that the game off the field gets it to him because it got to a lot of guys.
Now, did you? I know before we jump into our next topic, who did you take under your wing? I mean, Joy Cora's a
I think everyone.
I think Joy's the one that comes to mind.
Joy Cora,
Ray Durham, you helped out
Ray
a lot.
Durham a lot.
Yeah.
Even
Tried to-
Roberto Hernandez.
So it's funny. So
That was like guys that you passed it on.
So I follow this guy named Patrick David, and he interviewed this guy who calls Dan Pena, probably the greatest immigrant to ever come out of in the United States. This guy, his name is $50 billion man, meaning he's coached guys to make that much money. He's never made it himself, but his teachings have helped guys, and it's like a huge thing. I'm always proud of you because the guys that you've been able to help and that have succeeded, guys that come to you and say, because of you, I've been able to make X amount of money. Thank you because I made it to the big leagues. So I think that legacy, and that's what I wanted Tom's family to feel. We were in Met Stadium, and Tom was there. That's what I hadn't seen him in a long time. And when he saw you as a manager, the joy that he had of like pride, of like it was like you had won the MVP. Of like, man, you're still married with Ebies. You look at your boys; they're so big. Man, they speak perfect English. They have this awesome life here, and you're a big league manager. If to him it was. He was so happy, and I was like, man, I was meeting him. I was like,
I'm not a father, but it's got to be like seeing your son graduate from high school. Or seeing your son like, hey, what I did impacted you in such a good way.
He let me a note when he got traded. He let me a note on my chair. You know, now before he was
Text message.
He got traded. I don't have a chance to see where they trade him, and he let me know. I say just keep playing. Don't let this thing bother you, and don't forget everything I told you. If you let him know, Tom Seaver. You know who remind me of that? Bruce Lavine. Because
he was there.
Yeah, they saw that. I know.
Jesus.
I remember. And then I went to Boston. I pitched in Boston. First thing we take the field. Ozzy Ball. I said, "What's up, old man? I say hi to you later. Don't come here and talk to me."
Because I'm competing. Yeah, I'm competing. Like he wanted, I'm going to respect the game, and it was great that the Mets.
So that's why when guys
honored,
and that's when the Mets honored him with the dirt, which is an amazing thing. But that's the thing, you know, when people say change the game, we want to make the game fun. The game was fun back then. It was just different type of fun, and every generation.
I think it was more fun then than now.
Party wise, players now are soft as sharp.
On the field too. On the field, we fight for each other. We like. Hey, you got to take that guy out.
Well, everybody's always going to like their era. Everyone's always going to like the era. And you feel like you grew up.
But I grew up.
But it is different.
I found a different era.
There's no social media.
Now,
there's no social media.
Now I learned I cannot compare my era with this era.
Well, you think it was more of like, let's fight. We love each other. Let's fight.
Yeah.
We love each other. This is more of like, let's play place. Again, it's different times. But again, Mr. Seaver, you'll always remember as a legend. I will teach my kids who you are and how you affected this family personally, because another guy, for example, that we're going to honor, and this is why I think every team should honor their legends, because kids need to know these great men that play this game. Roberto Clemente, the Pittsburgh Pirates are going to wear number 21 on September 9th, which is amazing. Joy Cora will be the first Puerto Rican to wear number 21 in a Pittsburgh Pirates jersey. Sandy Alomar talked yesterday on social media that he hopes that the Cleveland Indians let him wear 21 on that day in Cleveland.
I think they will.
I don't think that you have to retire the number forever, but honor it. Like say like, hey, like White Sox, Mina Minoso, have everyone wear Mini's number. Have everybody wear Chico's number. Have everyone wear Louis' number. And make it like a Billy Pierce.
Or like pick a day every year and honor one of your retired members.
Or not even retired.
That's a lot of money, but they will make money with charity selling their
shit. Oh, of course. But you give a chance.
That is a way, and that is a way to inform, because there's a 10-year-old kid right now who doesn't know Roberto.
Well, Roberto Clemente is easy to know. Roberto Clemente, you know.
Never died for us.
Well, I'm saying Roberto Clemente is easy because you go to a library, you type in greatest Latino player of all time, Roberto Clemente automatically comes up. You go to here in Chicago, Humboldt Park,
Clemente High School.
I'm saying they sell his T-shirts on the streets.
Yeah.
Players are honoring him.
Well,
I mean other players that are Latino, you know, that are amazing. or even American guys that play for a franchise that most people are like, white. There was young people on the Twitter for the White Sox that says, Tom Seaver pitched for the Mets. Like they thought that Tom Seaver's career with the White Sox was like when his heyday. I'm like,
no,
he was breaking records. Yeah. Like his main point.
Nobody remember Tom Seaver played for Cincinnati.
Yes, and Sparky Anderson. You see Sparky Anderson's great quote. He's like, my job as a manager is give the ball to Tom and let him do his thing.
So I
feel like Roberto Clemente is going to be honored, and I feel like hopefully it happens every year. But obviously, these are guys that transcend sport, meaning that they're bigger than the game. Jackie, Roberto, because obviously they were great, but mostly the impact they had off the field was even greater. That is why the Pittsburgh Pirates are doing this, and that is why, I mean, me, myself, I said it last week, my name is Roberto because my dad was a huge Roberto fan. He has the memorabilia and all those things that he did. With everything that we're going through right now in the times of racism and stuff, he was so ahead of his time. He was so proud of who he was. Even in every interview that he gave, he spoke Spanish. He said, my name is not Bob. My name is Roberto. This is a guy that believed in who he was, believed in his heritage, was proud to be a Latino. Now more than ever, it's a perfect time to do it, and I'm glad that MLB.
I like when they say, let me talk to you in Spanish to my family.
He said hi to mom and dad.
Say, I'm proud to be a black Puerto Rican. Those letters, those words mean to stay there forever. And I think Puerto Rican people, I went to Puerto Rico all the time, and you see Roberto Clemente's museum, you see Roberto Clemente, everything. And we're fighting to have a Roberto Clemente number retired and be the first one I'll be the first one in the group. But it's going to be hard, but to honor him, win the number, when anybody wins the number, besides being Puerto Rican, I think we should do that.
Who's the last guy you remember wearing that number? Ruben Sierra? I remember.
Sierra.
So, MLB did the right thing, and hopefully this leads to more stuff down the road. But Roberto's impact is going to be felt throughout.
But who you are, I'm not saying that, but who you are and what you stand up for. That's why we had the Roberto Clemente, where we'll talk about it later on. But there was 4 Latino nominees: Miguel Cabrera, Eduardo Escobar,
and 3. I also very proud of that. I saw Miguel Rojas, Eduardo Escobar, Miguel Cabrera. These are guys that are planting their seeds after they're done. Guarantee you, after they're done playing baseball, Miguel Rojas will be a representative for the Marlins or a delegate. Eduardo Escobar.
And helping the community. So that's the part that I love about Clemente. And like the part that non-Latino players could honor him is he was proud of who he was. Baseball has changed in the sense that we got guys from Germany, Kepler. We got guys from Asian countries. We got guys, and people didn't realize this in the time of this. I was explaining to somebody, when you're looking at the ethnic boxes of like what you are, when you check Latino, it's because you're not, because if you didn't check Latino, you would check white, Caucasian, black, Hispanic. Latino puts you in the whole, it's like 3 for 1 in the whole group. So that's why I think that people need to, again, this is what the history of the game needs to be taught. This is why this is from like your parent to a child, or if you're lucky enough to have something like La Vida Baseball to watch the things.
By the way, I think La Vida Baseball should have a special day go to Kansas City.
The Negro League Museum. That's where Luis Robert hit the ball last time. Okay. I think it landed.
Let me tell you one thing, because I was the first one when the Black Museum was broke. I was the first one to go. Willie Wilson, Frank White.
The breakfast. Yeah, we go to the breakfast.
Then the White Sox. Oh, you went with me. Yeah. So the White Sox did a tremendous job with Kenny Williams to take the team to the Negro Museum, because we tried to help. Well, no, me, Kenny, obviously, to be African American, all those guys, and I made mandatory bus to go there. And the Major League Baseball
should make everyone go there.
Have one day, whoever visits Kansas City, you're a baseball player, spend 2 hours in the Negro Museum. Why? We need help. This is like a Cooperstown. By the way, it's not just about black players. It's about Latinos, Asian players.
It's about the history of the game.
You gotta say was an Indigo was from Cuba. Was all those.
These are things that, and we've said it on the show many times. The White Sox, as far as it comes to charity and doing things that are important in the community, by far the best in MLB. They're always ahead of the curve. The Negro League Museum is something that everyone, if you're a baseball fan, you don't even have to fly there. You could drive, if you're a baseball in Missouri, you drive there. The Negro League Museum is a part of our history. It's a part of American history that everybody should go
and,
there.
and I think that helps you understand the game and where the game comes from and how the game transcended. And the next topic that we're going to be talking about in 30 years of transcending, A-Rod feels a little hurt that.
Well, think about it this way before you jump in. The fact that he's a Latino and then he could buy a team, it's thanks to
Jennifer.
Well, even the conversation.
Roberto Clemente, Kurt Flood. These are the guys that made it possible.
Even that people don't realize this. Even the fact that he didn't get the team.
The fact that he was on,
the fact that he was in a conversation to even own a team. If he ever thought he had a chance, just Google Mr. Cohen.
Yeah,
they could have said, "Oh, we're gonna come back and be like, I'm gonna give you $100 million." This guy would have said, "I'll give you 300 more." Like his pockets are really, really big.
Yeah,
and they were not gonna win that battle.
So A-Rod and J-Lo had a group of people that were gonna make a bid to buy the Mets. They were in the running. A-Rod was a little upset. He said it wasn't fair. Steve Cohen comes out of nowhere, offers like $100 million more. MLB agreed. The team's going to be sold to Steve Cohen, who grew up a Mets fan.
A huge Mets fan.
Huge Mets fan. Huge Tom Seaver fan. He has a lot of money. I think he's worth like $15 billion. A-Rod fell short. My personal opinion is that someone that he's come a long way from everything that's happened, the positive test, the cheating scandal, the guy that was suspended for a year. The fact that he's made his image a lot better than what it used to be. All kudos to him. That's great. A-Rod's unbelievable. I don't think that there's no place for him to own a baseball team with everything that has happened to him. And we have guys like Pete Rose.
MLB.
We have guys like
very badly.
Yeah. We have guys like Pete Rose that get ostracized. Ostracized is another word that Jose Canseco. Ostracized.
The animal.
No, ostracized means when it's like they leave you there like, oh look, that's the bad guy. A-Rod's doing great things for MLB. Unbelievable job on Fox. I don't think he should be allowed to be an owner.
I think first of all, it wasn't his money. Okay, so he was buying with somebody else's money. That's my personal opinion. But I think that was working against him. I also think that being an owner, the guy with the most money was going to win. That's just how business works. If he wants to stay involved, and that's what A-Rod needs to decide. I think he's confused right now. If you want to go work in a front office, call Mr. Cohen, said, let's grab dinner. You're a great talker. Convince him and say, I want to become the general manager. I'm saying convince him, become the general manager, president. A-Rod's a very smart guy, very smart baseball guy. He'll combine the two worlds of baseball in a good way.
He's great on Shark Tank.
But here's the thing. You cannot do ESPN and be a general manager. Okay, conflict of interest. So he needs to decide in his career what he's going to be, because he's not trying to be on a team and like be a small role and like a consultant. He's trying to make decisions on budget, on team. And I already saw the problem with the Mets where a former agent is a GM of the team. And now I see a problem with that because guys that he signed are on his team. And again, something I don't know how Major League Baseball does that happen. That's their problem. But I think that A-Rod shouldn't feel bad. He just didn't have the money to compete.
The White Sox GM, he was agent. Yes, indeed.
Oh,
Rick Hahn.
Used to be. But I'm saying, no, he left it. That's what I'm saying. So like, but he had not signed anybody on the active roster.
No.
So that's where the conflict, again, your passes should be affected. But again, the Mets had a lot of things. But at the end of the day, A-Rod, don't be mad, man. Don't sue anybody. This guy just had more money.
By the way, you suing somebody, you're going to lose the suit like you lose MLB. MLB got more money, more power.
More money. Like, Mr. Cohen has more money.
Yeah, but he got power. And by the way, if you suing them, you're closing the door
on future stuff.
Future stuff. It's not just walk away, try to open another team, maybe become an affiliate for the minor leagues. That's another story.
He just sees
him
and Jeter are always going to be competing.
They're going to be competing.
He sees Jeter.
Yeah, but look what Derek. When Derek took over the team, he was not in the front like A-Rod was. Derek was like, these guys own the money. I'm just the president. He said it a bunch of times. I'm an employee. I'm saying I work for them. And David Sanson brings all the time. Like Derek Jeter works for the owners. It's true. Like he has money in the team, that's great, but he works for the owners. At the end of the day, they can remove him whenever they want to. So I think that combination of the question.
And remember, MLB is you just can't become an owner. The owners decide. Remember years ago, Mark Cuban, he could buy 3 Cubs teams. He wanted to buy the Cubs, and they said, no, thank you, Mark.
Well, anyway, that's why Alex is so smart. He's come out friendly. Jerry Reinsdorf. He's always been friends. No, talk about friends. He gets in that. He he know how fight the ball. He know
Exactly, and it's one of the things that even to another sport, LeBron James's dream is to own an NBA franchise.
Be careful with what happened with Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan,
yeah,
Michael Jordan.
Michael's rich.
Yeah,
I know.
No, I'm saying
terrible.
he's Michael's the majority owner for the Bobcats.
I'll tell you right now, if he owns a team, I won't be rooting for them.
Right. So, but this is the new age of player that we have. These guys have so much money. When my guy was playing, they didn't think about owning the team. They just want to play.
have a little league. I was
now the team you own the Browns, and you're like, this is amazing.
Wait, but this is like funny when people talk about like Hall of Fame and legacy. I know guys in the Hall of Fame that be like, I wish I could buy the team. Take my plaque.
Well, by the way, that's who told me that? Pat Corrales told me I will change the ring I have to have new money because I want a ring. I want a ring. Yeah, people want a ring
after you have money.
You get rich.
And Pat Corrales told me I have a ring.
Take it.
Here, put your name on it and give me your bank account.
Exactly. Because remember, guys,
I learned from that.
Now that there's no fans, you realize that you do have to. You play like it was in Little League, even though your mom used to cover the games and whatnot. But guys, don't never forget this. You play for the love of the game at the beginning in the minor leagues, but you work very, very hard. You write many, many buses. This is a job, and people do it. People that play for free around the world, if you're good at something, you get paid for it. This is a job.
Do you think Luis Robert's agent is saying?
Luis Robert's agent is saying, "Why did we sign that deal? Why did we sign that deal? Because the guy, you get that guy going on.
You think he'll be Rookie of the Year?
Yes.
Do you think he has a chance to be maybe Rookie of the Year MVP?
He won't be MVP unless he catches fire because Abreu's, he's doing great. And if you look at Trout, he's doing even better. And Nelson Cruz, Trout,
the thing is,
Trout's amazing.
But the funny thing about Trout, we know about Trout because the information we came every day. Nobody knows Trout hitting because he played in another country.
Oh yeah.
And they're not doing
also most valuable player. I think if you
take Trout off the Angels, they might win 2 games.
They might win 2 games. But again, he's gonna win Rookie of the Year. He'll be the 4th White Sox to do it. The first since Abreu, Ozzie, Aparicio. But he signed an early deal.
Yeah.
So he's like
maybe he realized I didn't know I was gonna be that good. You know what? You can't judge these guys because where they come from.
But he has another chance in other countries.
Yeah. But they all signed. He signed.
Moncada. But the funny thing about it is, why you want to, when we come from, I have you guys.
Why would you risk it?
Why would you risk it? You know what?
You're right,
bro. Herobay told me that they want to sign me 3-year deal. Herobay says you're going to give up to your free agent a year. That's why you're going to make money. New York, like you say, he asked me right in my face, why you want to be rich or you want to be safe? I said, I want to be safe. When I come from, I was greedy. I said, no, I want to be rich. Then something happened.
Story of Jasiel Puig. Jasiel Puig, we see him posting. He's doing a lot of charity stuff.
But he's not on the team right now.
He's not on the team. So he over-marketed himself. It happened with Yomer Sanchez, by the way, the White Sox. Who's hot? The White Sox, on and off the field. They're winning games, and they have players that they didn't sign come back to them.
Well, nobody signed him.
That's what I'm saying. They did. San Francisco released him, but I'm saying like
who's hot and then he got released, and he said, "This is my only chance."
But I'm saying who's not hot? Anaheim
or Carson Fulmer, who just got released again from another team.
Wait a minute, you got released from Detroit.
He got released from Pittsburgh.
Okay, wait a minute. We're going to play. The White Sox are going to play Cincinnati. You will pick for Cincinnati. Every time the White Sox are going to play that team.
I feel terrible. But my point is this. This is a job. Would you do TV for free?
No.
Exactly. Would you work for Cisco for free?
No.
Would I sell life insurance for free? No.
But I'm saying
these are things that it's a business. And now the Sox look very smart for giving these guys.
And I think they were smart to sign it.
And they're smart to sign it because Luis Robert today, God forbid, he runs into a wall and he shattered his leg.
Okay, that's it.
You think, Luis? No.
It's an example. It's not the same. One of the best second basemen, one of the best smarter player to play around was Norman Carrasco. He played in Venezuela. Wow,
every day.
Everybody knows Norman got hurt in Venezuela. Never could play a game anymore. That's why when people with that stats go to play Venezuela, they risk. And I told people got mad at me. I said, "Whoa, why this guy play? Oh, Ozzy, what do you think Venezuela style mind?"
Well, not only
Venezuela, because that guy is hurting our country. Nobody gonna come. Here's your money. Here's your money.
But I think that happens everywhere. Okay, because I see fans on both sides of town because the guys are locked in early. They're like have a calculator saying, you guys need to spend this much money. Really? You go spend 20 grand from your account on somebody you know if they're going to be good or not.
Yeah.
Because
Most
that's why
likely
people
taking a risk.
I'm just saying that's
The
why
Sox
they didn't make a trade. They didn't make a trade because they didn't want to risk.
The Sox took a risk on Yohan, on Luis, on Eloy.
But a good calculated risk. So sometimes it
works out.
Sometimes fans want teams because they're playing well to take crazy risks. With this trade deadline, I was like, the pitcher's going to pitch for 3 games, maybe a game in the playoffs,
and you don't know
trade
and Corona. Now the Corona, there's no fans.
You don't. So again, like people think like my team's going to spend this much money. No, you sign what you can and you do what you can when you can make it. There's a guy. You look at Lucas Giolito, okay, who he was 2 years ago to what he is today. This game will humble you. Ronaldo Lopez gets sent down. No one wants nothing to do with Ronaldo Lopez. Here's the thing, though. This is when people need to analyze the game. He was not getting shelled like home run after home run. Check swing, third strike, error from his second baseman.
And he was a little upset that they took him out of the game.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. So, like, you got to give, again, in this game right now, especially season, I know
people can improve.
People can improve.
Yeah, look, Giolito went from being terrible.
But looking at the things, so when guys want to give up on players because whatever, if they would have given up on Nelson Cruz, he wouldn't be hitting 40 home runs. Miguel Cabrera just hit 2,000 hits with the Detroit Tigers. So teams take chances on players based on opportunity. So when people are critiquing, oh, you're giving this guy a second chance, is because you see the potential and you say, man, I might be able to fix this guy. Because why? A kid's 24 years old. He's got good stuff. You're like, why not? I'll take a chance on him.
We talked about last night in our show, and they asked me about him. I said, what? I'm not going to give up with this kid.
No.
With that talent.
And no injuries.
You never
Hold on.
By
the way, no arm injuries. Okay, they want other guys.
Maybe in 2 years he figures it out.
Only. The thing about Latinos, this kid would have been pitching college. They just drafted some old dude. He's the next Chris Sale. The guy was 24 pitching college. Put Lopez in college.
He would dominate.
Put Lopez in college. So when people talk, they don't know the age. Luis Robert would be right now playing at UIC with a metal bat.
That's a scary thought.
So when we develop the game, and that's when we bring up guys like Tom Seaver helping him about being honest, Roberto Clemente, we need to speak the truth when we talk to these individuals about like baseball. The truth is you're giving up on a guy that's been playing professional baseball since he's 60 years old when technically he should have been pitching in college. So development-wise, he's kind of ahead of the curve of everybody else. So do not give up on our players so early.
That's why I always say, like we talked about yesterday. We talked about yesterday a very long time ago because people were disappointed about it. But I said, listen, a kid without arm, you never know what the curve you're going to get. Because that kid, the long as it's not injury, that kid.
I just think that the problem is that the Sox have been very bad for a long time, and the people are desperate. They want results, now.
Well, good luck. Well, they have to kill a couple teams.
And I feel terrible. I don't know. Like I saw the Moncada thing, and I know we're talking about what's going to happen in the next 3 weeks of the season. He hasn't felt right since COVID. He says he says he has no energy. I guess COVID hits everyone differently. He says he has no energy, that his body doesn't feel the same.
Well, he's never been able to bounce back. He's never been able to bounce back like a lot of players in previous. That's always been his, does he get hurt a lot? He doesn't bounce back.
That's a scary thought.
That's why we talked about last night. I said, I don't mind, and I believe him because we got people, close friends, went to Corona, have that symptom. I said, why not say that before? Why not say that from the beginning? Say, listen, guys, I'm out there.
I feel
very weird. But maybe he didn't say that because he was afraid to people like,
here's the other part, though. Why is he not on the DL?
And that's another thing. He should be. After he said something like that, me personally, on the Sox, I shut him down.
Yeah.
I shut him down and said, you don't need to be doing this because now he feels like he's indebted to the team. Like, I got to go out there and play. I don't feel good. Some people are built differently. Unfortunately, nobody knows all about this whole virus and everything that's going on. It hit him. He doesn't feel right. The team should shut him down because obviously someone's health is more important. And you don't know how this could have lingering effects.
Yeah, for a long time. So that's going to be it for today's show. Thank you for all your comments. Who's hot? Congratulations to Miguel Cabrera on 2,000 hits. Again,
2,000 hits with the Tigers. He's got 28.
I got screwed right
now with Tigers. Ozzy again lost another bet to Oni. He's got to just This guy just.
I already got
Already paid.
Yes, I'm waiting for my next bet to
So
come.
keep watching La Vida Baseball and follow us on all our social media platforms and check out our podcasts on all where you get your podcasts. Being Guillén for all previous episodes. Have a great weekend. Stay safe.
Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day. Thank you.